Hello, and it is the middle of June 16, 2025. It's time for the mid-month event. Well, what a lousy month it's been. And I think the first thing that I'm going to just get off my chest right now is this weather. Just day after day after day after day of clouds, dreary weather, sucky drizzle, light rain. I've ranted about it plenty in the weather videos. This is not normal what we're experiencing. It has been over a month since I've been in the Pine Barrens. Over a month. Because even when we did have sunny days, the smoke, the air quality was so bad because of all the fires in Canada. So we can't get a nice sunny day with blue skies. And the less time I'm out in the Pine Barrens, the more time I'm stuck in this place. And in the last one, I ranted plenty about that, and I'm going to rant again about it in this one. Because, I've gotten nowhere, still getting nowhere with everything. My neighborhood is just so depressing.
This is the neighborhood where I live in. This is what I come to see every single day. This was last night. You could see some homeless guy left his stuff there. And then if you look closely, we zoom in a little more, you'll see your overgrown weeds, and there's some sneakers over there, a half unfinished building where guys hang out and get drunk from time to time. This is what I got. These are my surroundings.
Living here. It is so depressing. And the latest thing that happened that I'm going to play, that I'm going to talk about in this video, I'm going to have to insert it in the video, is the kind of stuff that goes on in my neighborhood. There's a church right around the corner from where I live, and it was vandalized by some unstable person. And this is what goes on in my neighborhood. We have homeless, we have vagabonds roaming around, and things are not taken care of. Now, there are nice parts of Mineola, but where I live isn't a nice part of Mineola. We have people loitering around. It's just run down. It's really just unbelievably getting worse by the month.
So this is right around the corner from where I live. This is what goes on in my neighborhood.
Mass at a church on Long Island.
A man went on a rampage, knocking over religious statues, causing almost $10,000 in damage. Parishioners watching in shock until cops were able to make an arrest.
Eyewitness News reporter Shante Lands is live in Mineola, where the suspect made his first court appearance. Shante?
Well, Shari and Mike, Aldo Hernandez, he's 26-year-old and from here in Mineola. He went inside of this church, they say, yelling and screaming before knocking over and breaking two historic statues. The hands and fingers are gone from the Sacred Heart of Jesus and Virgin Mary statues.
I was horrified. This is terrible.
The broken pieces now sit on a nearby table.
Was this shocking for you to hear about?
Yeah, it was.
Upset parishioners witnessed the damaged statues amid their daily prayers inside Corpus Christi Roman Catholic Church in Mineola.
I was incredible, why would anybody want to do that?
Although the motive is not clear, Nassau County Police say the person who did it is. Prosecutors say 26-year-old Aldo Hernandez of Mineola entered the Catholic Church just before 5 p.m. service yesterday and started yelling, quote, "This is false religion and not God," before approaching the altar and knocking over and breaking the two tall statues.
We don't idolize the statues. They represent our faith.
Prosecutors say Hernandez was captured on the church's surveillance video and that multiple people asked him to leave.
Some of the Spanish congregation, not knowing whether he had a gun, a knife, or a bomb, subdued him.
Aldo Hernandez was arrested and charged with second-degree criminal mischief, which is a Class D felony. He was released on his own personal recognizance after pleading not guilty.
No bail,
Is there anything you have to say?
No, my office representing him. He's not taking any questions.
Neither did Hernandez's attorney. Prosecutors say each
kind of
religious
crap
statue
was in my
is worth
neighborhood.
about $5,000. Jesus' face and robe on the historic statue were also damaged.
I'm just saddened, because, we just restored the statue. Well, I don't know how many, I think it was maybe a few years back, because the statue is very old. It's 109 years old.
We have to be able to accept that hostility, as the early Christians did.
And Aldo Hernandez has no criminal record. He's due back in court next week. He was released again on his own personal recognizance. He just has to now wear an electronic monitoring bracelet.
Of course. And we all know they can cut those off. Yeah, what a joke. This is what you get in New York.
So here you see the kind of stuff that I have to put up with in my neighborhood. Of course, who would go into a church and do something like that? Really, that's what we have in this neighborhood. That's what we have. This is, again, there's no use beating a dead horse because you know how I feel about it. I know it upsets people when I talk about it, but somebody with a disability who's in supportive housing should be able to live in a happier, more thriving area. It's better for their well-being. How do you expect my mental health to improve when I'm facing this brick wall? I can't get fresh air. Yeah, the alley's still warmer than outside. Even today, it's like 3 or 4 degrees warmer. And it's just very confining. It's very bad for my health to face this brick wall. All my windows face this brick wall. I don't even know how. There's no sense beating a dead horse because we already know pretty much everything there is to know about how much it sucks living here. I'm still grateful things aren't worse, but I got to face another summer in this place, and it's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I really don't know. So, I don't know if I'm going to make it. So, just, what can I say? About getting outside, going outside to the Pine Barrens. And this is what I wanted my channel to be more of, less of this kind of stuff, and more videos of the Pine Barrens, more about nature, the natural side of Long Island. But how can I see the natural side of Long Island when the weather sucks every single day? And we are going to break out of this pattern, but unfortunately it is going to go from this to maybe we'll have one nice day on Friday, maybe in Saturday, maybe, but then it's going to get very hot and very steamy, and it's going to be really hard to walk around anywhere but at the beach. And this alley is probably going to go into the hundreds, the kind of heat that they're showing right now in the models. But I'll keep that for the weather video. There will not be a weather video tonight. I'll do one maybe tomorrow, or probably tomorrow. But I'm disgusted with everything. And of course, I'm disgusted with the direction of this country. I've made 2 videos about it now, talking about, maybe 3 actually, talking about this dictator that has taken over. I don't even want to mention his name. This fat, orange monster. This fat bastard is what I call him. Like Fat Bastard in the Austin Powers movies. This guy, and the people that still support him, the people that still think that he's going to make this country better, when all he has done tremendous damage in just 6 months. Now imagine how much worse it's going to get. It's going to get a lot worse if we don't do anything. And I'm glad that there were big protests yesterday, no King's protests, but these protests aren't going to do anything to get rid of him. Congress doesn't care. They don't care. Congress ceded all their power to him. You know how I feel about this. I've gone over it a million times. And I think that what we have as president is a result of how dumbed down Americans have become. How selfish. It's not just Long Island, it's the whole country that's like this. You look at the people we're picking to represent us. I don't get it. I mean, this is insanity. This is insanity. And as I said before, what do you do when Congress won't do it? Well, there's not enough people, first of all. No Kings is great, but it's not enough. It's like a penny, man. It's like you need to have massive protests to the point where the economy starts shutting down. The stuff that makes all the rich people rich shuts down. General strike, something like that. That might make them pay attention. Or Trump could just declare martial law. He wants to be a dictator. He had a little military parade that was a joke, really, but still cost a lot of money because he thinks he's a dictator. I've been through this before already. Been through this a million times already. And because of this crappy weather, this is going to be the theme of this video, I've had to be sitting in front of the computer screen, watching TV a lot more than I'd like, and having to see all this crap going on, and seeing my country destroyed. Instead of being out in the woods and trying to forget about it, I'm stuck in here. I'm stuck in front of a TV somewhere. Because the weather sucks. It absolutely sucks. This is the worst June we've ever had. Usually June is a month where it's warm, it's dry. We usually don't see humidity. We're going to see a lot of humidity. We've already been seeing humidity. This is the part of the climate that's changed. You can have humidity. You can have humidity any day of the year now because of climate change. But it's not like anyone's really paying attention to that. Nobody really cares about that because everybody's fixated on, well, that bastard. He's become dominating the news constantly. They all give him the attention, and everybody just sits there and obeys it. We let him become the dictator. First of all, we elected him to become the dictator, and we are letting him become the dictator because, and I'm glad to see these I'm glad, and it's very interesting that on Long Island, they really didn't get mentioned as much in the Long Island subreddit, yet in New Jersey, they got mentioned a lot more.
And this is also what I want to include. The Long Island Reddit hardly covered the protests at all. And you think Long Island is progressive, but it's very interesting that hardly any posts at all about the protests. Hardly anything here. Nothing. Nothing at all. All right? Yet, if I go jump over to New Jersey, look at this. No Kings events here. No Kings. Asbury Park, no Kings. Asbury Park and Tom's River, no Kings. No Kings protest. Tom's River, no Kings. All right, Tom's River actually had a lot of people. There's also one in Lacey, too, by the way. I got to go down here a little bit, but he has Lacey. Yeah, look at that. That's Lacey Township, which is south of Tom's River. Look at that. No Kings in Tom's River. That's why I love Tom's River. It's the people there are just so much better than here. It's just so different, you know. So yeah, the plan is still in play, unfortunately, but don't want to talk about it because it's going to make me upset. Please, just get it out of my face. Just get it out of my face.
I mentioned there was a big one in Tom's River, believe it or not. It looked even bigger than the one in Mineola, which is kind of surprising, but not really. Because I've always felt that despite the fact that they did elect Mikey Sherrill to run, I've always felt that people in New Jersey tend to be more down to earth. I still kind of feel that way even after this. They have their reasons, and if she loses that way of talking, she could be a very formidable candidate. She's got to stop talking like a preppy snob and start talking like a governor. And she can do that because she's spoken like that in Congress. She just has to take that voice and use that when she's running for governor. And I think she'll easily beat Jack Shittarelli. I might be mispronouncing his name, but that is the way I feel about him. He got endorsed by the fat bastard. Do you think anyone who's been endorsed by the fat bastard is an automatic no, first of all right? So, yeah. People hate it. They hate it. They hate it when I disrespect him. I don't want to say his name. I don't want to say it in this video. I'm not going to say it in this video. Everybody knows who the hell I'm talking about. It's obvious. And he's got to go. But is Congress going to do anything? No. Is the Supreme Court going to do anything? Well, they have their rulings, the courts, but they have no way to enforce it. He says, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. That's the way a dictator works. And all this stuff about ICE. You hear about ICE. Oh, ICE is doing these raids, and they're all for show. They're doing them to make people scared. That's why they're doing them the way they're doing them, and they're going into these public places and making a scene about it. And they're also arresting and deporting legal immigrants. Yeah, they are. People will deny it, but they are. They're arresting and deporting students. Yet the troublemakers, the people that are the problems, I just look out in my neighborhood. They're still here. ICE hasn't done a damn thing about them. And they're not going to. So, this is what it's like in America in 2025 in June. And if you're somewhere where the weather is nice, like Flagstaff or somewhere else, or maybe you're in Canada or some other place in the world and you have nice weather, you can kind of get away from all this crap. You can get away from it. But here in my area where it's gloomy every freaking day, I'm stuck having to look at it. It's on my social media, it's in the news, it's on the TV, it's everywhere. There's no escape from it. It really isn't. It really isn't. So it's been very hard for me to deal with this crappy garbage weather that we've been having. I hate these kind of weather patterns. This is the worst one I've ever been through yet. Where it's just day after day of a stall front, clouds, showers, light rain, and the worst of all, that damn drizzle. I hate that bloody drizzle. It is the worst. It doesn't even accomplish anything. I mean, we've had so much of this, but yet we haven't really gotten an actual whole lot of rainfall. But this is not normal. None of this is normal. We're supposed to have blue skies. We're supposed to have temperatures around 80 degrees for a high. It's not supposed to be humid. The sun is supposed to be shining. We haven't had one freaking day like that in June. Not one. I got to go back to May. We had a nice day, whereas I've been in the Pine Barrens. And we haven't had a dry weekend since April. When I say this weather is sucky, it sucks. And I absolutely despise it. We're not even doing anything about climate change. Nobody really cares about it. People driving around in huge pickup trucks and SUVs. The pickups are really popular now here on Long Island. Just everybody wants to think like they're a cowboy or something. I don't even understand that. Seriously. It's disgusting. Unless you need a pickup for work, then you should not be allowed to have a pickup. They should be commercial vehicles. But again, we have these people running our state. Governor Hochul, for instance, she wants to get rid of all the new apartments now, can't have gas stoves. But yet, she's done absolutely nothing about classifying these behemoth, wasteful vehicles as commercial vehicles. And they should be considered commercial vehicles. You want to own that pickup? You're going to have to get a CDL. And you're not going to be able to drive it on the parkway. Let's see that, Governor Hochul. But you won't do that. That would make a real stop to the climate. That'll help. But we've passed the point already. Even if we stop burning fossil fuels right now, we have to do, as I said yesterday, we have to actively work on cooling this planet down. But here in the United States, of course, we're just doing the reverse. Even here in Mineola, we're doing the reverse. We're cutting down trees. Mineola used to have a lot of trees. Now we've cut them all down. And it makes the village look horrible. And on top of it, the drainage is bad enough as it is. You take the trees away, now you're going to have even less drainage. We have flooding from freaking drizzle in this town. All right, because there's no drainage here. And whatever drainage there is, they don't slope the streets properly so that the drainage goes where it needs to go. Mineola is an example of how not to design a village. Mineola has done everything wrong and almost nothing right. And that's why Mineola is going to continue to suffer. And towns that do get it right, like Rockville Center, will continue to be very desirable places to live and places that people actually want to go to. So that is the sad truth of the matter. So I don't want this video being too long. We'll go to, I don't want it being much more than 20 minutes. I also want to talk a little bit about just the state of YouTube in this last part. YouTube has become an utter joke. I find I get less comments, less views. People like watching junk. I get in my feed, and then I get all these political videos in my feed. They make it seem, oh well, yeah, it's happening. We're gonna overthrow him. The protests are happening. No, it's not. Right. Even one of the, I'll bring up one of the people I subscribe to, Veg the Aging Hippie. He's taken a break from YouTube. I would like nothing more than to stop doing this. I would love nothing more than to just go into the pines and not have to deal with this again. I would love nothing more to do that. I would love nothing more than to just say, F this weather, I'm going to Flagstaff where it's sunny and where it's dry and I can look at pines and enjoy a nice blue sky. That's what I wish I could do right now. Because I really can't take this weather anymore. I can't take this place anymore. I can't take this weather anymore. But I can't because of my situation. I don't even know how. How would I just go travel? I'm afraid. But again, YouTube has become a joke. And then ads. I don't know, I gotta figure out how to get a freaking ad. I'm not gonna pay to watch YouTube. That's for sure. But these ads are ridiculous. It's like some of these videos, there's like ads, and the ads are like 30 seconds long. You can't skip them. Why does an ad have to be so long? Can't it just be 5 or 10 seconds? It's ridiculous. Some people monetize their videos. I understand some people, they have a right to do that, but I like people who don't monetize their videos. That's why I like watching Veg the Aging Hippie. That's why I watch Collapse Chronicles. Those guys don't monetize their videos. I don't have to see any freaking ads. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. I was talking about that last. Ain't gonna happen. All this wishful thinking ain't gonna happen. That bastard isn't going anywhere unless something happens. I don't like that. I'm a peace person. I don't believe in violence. But again, as I said before, how are you supposed to stop somebody who uses violence against their own citizens? Which is what he's doing. And he's going to cut all the programs too. Give it all to the rich. Yeah, we had our little protest yesterday. Not yesterday, it was Saturday, not yesterday. Good. I'm glad there was a protest, but it's not enough. Unless you find a way to hurt the rich, because that ain't hurting the rich. Unless you find a way to hurt the rich and the oligarchs that are behind our government, nothing is ever going to change. Protest all you want, carry all the signs you want. Nothing's ever going to change until you interrupt the flow of money that goes to these people. That's why I think there should be a general strike. Pick a day, everything shuts down. But is everyone going to do that? No, because people care too much about money in this country. We've become so done down and talk stupid ways. We talk stupid ways. Want to go out in the town? You know, that vocal fry crap. Everybody talks like that now. The whole world is laughing at us. But not like anyone cares, of course. So, again, I would love to be in the Pine Barrens. I would love to be hiking. I would love to be looking at blue skies and not sitting here making this stupid video. But we got crap weather. And when this is gone, it'll be replaced by the heat. And then we'll have more smoke again. So yeah, more smoke. Because that's part of climate change. The world is burning. Nobody really cares. Nobody really notices. Nobody's willing to actually do anything about it. Pickups need to be gone. We need to paint all the roofs white. Several things we could do. Cool the oceans down. We're not even trying. And now you got fat bastard who basically wants to just... He's trashing everything. He's trashing everything. Everything we've done to help this planet. He's trashing it all. And is anyone stopping him? No. Nobody's stopping him. Nobody. Nobody. We have all this violence going on. Already we have violence going on. We have people being assassinated. It's always the Democrats that wind up getting assassinated or have assassination attempts, isn't it? Isn't it interesting? The violence always comes from the right. Isn't that interesting? It always does. And that whole thing with Trump getting shot in the ear, that was staged. That was staged. That whole damn thing in Pennsylvania was staged. Man had to die because of it. But, oh, did I just mention his name? Uh-oh, I did mention his name. Should have said fat bastard. It's hard. It's hard. But, yeah. Yeah, that whole thing was staged. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He'll have somebody shot to further... He actually said he could go in the street and shoot someone and nothing would happen to him. Remember that? So, yeah. This is the country we are living in. And we let it all happen. And I'm faced to have to deal with this day after day because I can't get outside. Or I go outside, I do go out, when there's precious dry time. But a couple of hours of dry time here and there. I've been able to walk around, thank God. But other than that, getting to the place I love, I can't get there. I'm going crazy from it. And I don't want to leave the country because this is the only place there are Pine Barrens, pitch Pine Barrens anyway. Or even ponderosa pines. I don't even think Canada has ponderosa pines. They have spruces and stuff. They don't have any of that. They don't have that. Nope. It's not like I'd be allowed to live in Canada anyway. Canada isn't really interested in taking anyone in from the United States, especially somebody in my situation. So I'll end it on this. I really don't want to make another one of these videos. I want this freaking weather, try not to say any bad words, to change. So I can get some nice sunshine, blue skies. I don't care if it's like 88 as long as it's not humid and the skies are blue. Clean air. Sweep this crap out of here. Or I'll just eventually just go to Flagstaff for a little while, just vanish. Go somewhere, I don't know. I never traveled before. But I can't take this crap no more. This weather is literally driving me up the wall. This is not normal. Nothing is normal anymore. Nothing. Whatever you remember as normal is just a memory. The good old days are gone. And we're screwed. Going to depend on how screwed. But it seems like people in America just want to be screwed as much as they possibly can. The fat bastard has got to go. I'd like to see him impeached and removed by Congress. I wish Congress would honor their oath. But I think part of it is Congress isn't seeing enough disruption yet from people. Yeah, a Saturday protest, great. Should be a general strike. That's what it should be. Shut it all down until that fat bastard is removed from office. But nobody's going to do it. Because everybody cares too much about money to have that happen. It's funny how we did that during the pandemic for months on end. It was horrible. But we can't do it for one day so we can get rid of fat bastard. But, again, there's not enough collectivity going. We're not there yet. And I'm worried by the time we are there, Trump is going to declare martial law. And it's going to be too late. We got to stop Trump now. Oh, I said his name again. Darn it. That bastard. It's hard. It's really hard. And again, this isn't about being a Republican or Democrat. Well, a lot of people say, well, I don't like Democrats, so I support fat bastard. This has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that he's broken the law. He's abused his power. He's a criminal piece of scum that isn't even eligible to be the president and should be rotting in jail right now. You want a good Republican president? All right, Ronald Reagan. He ain't nothing like Reagan. I think if Reagan was alive today, he'd be disgusted to see what this country has turned into. Absolutely disgusted. Then again, we're all stupid. We're all dumbed down. A Saturday protest, great. But you need to do it every day. Every damn day. That's a start. I want to see protesters out there every day. Thousands of them every day. You have one day isn't going to cut it. It's got to be day after day, and the crowd's got to get bigger and bigger and bigger and interfere with Wall Street, and all the rich people start losing their money. But people, they still don't get it yet. They don't get it. They don't get it. Sorry I'm being so negative. I do apologize. This is a vent, so I don't want to be here venting. I'd rather be in the woods. I'd rather be making videos of thunderstorms or something. Anything interesting. This weather sucks. I mean, at least if we had thunderstorms, it would be interesting. But this sucky, wet, damp, drizzly, garbage weather has got to go, along with the fat bastard. So, I think that's going to wrap things up. Thank you for watching. Pray for America.